Being a parent can be a handful, especially when your kids have a mind of their own. But that's part of being a caregiver. You gotta accept the good with the bad. Some things that your child might do will fill you with immense love, while others would have you flaming. Either way, kids certainly know how to make their parents' lives unpredictable. Today, we'll show you just how unpredictable it can get. Here are 23 times when parents instantly regretted having kids. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Let's begin. Kids always seem to get themselves in some sort of trouble or other. You leave them unattended for just a second and they might just climb up on a construction crane behind your back. Don't ask how they got up there in the first place, but they will find a way. Like this kid who managed to squeeze herself into one of those claw machines. By the time she got in, she realized that there was no getting out easily. Her parents try to calm her down until someone finds a way to get her out. Poor kid.
Ow!
Kids do the darndest things and you just can't help but smile, even when what they're doing is clearly wrong. These kids are on live TV when one of them decides to behave like there was no camera on them. The kid leans in for a sample and then hogs the cotton candy held by the other kid. The other kid had no idea how to react, and eventually the cotton candy thief makes off with his candy. The gall of this kid. A dad would do anything for his child, but sometimes it can backfire. A father and his son are seen enjoying a live match from the stands. There's no greater bonding experience than this right here. Luckily, the father manages to catch the runaway ball and probably feels incredibly lucky to have this moment. But being a dad, he decides to give the ball to his son. It's a touching moment, but then the son doesn't quite understand the gesture and throws the ball back into the field. That took an unexpected turn. You should let kids discover things by themselves. Encourage their curiosity because that's the best way to pick up new knowledge about the world around them. Maybe this boy's parents had the same view. The kid decides to give the electric shaver a whirl but ends up shaving a bit too much off the top. I guess he can still cover it up considering the shave bit is still attached to his head. His parents would be proud now he knows how not to use an electric shaver. Parenting is a job that needs a lot of multitasking. You need to be tuned in to multiple things at the same time, and if that's not possible, this could happen. While the mother was tending to a child on the stroller, the other child decides to go on an impromptu ride in the garage door. Luckily, the mom sees the whole thing unfold before it's too late and comes to the child's rescue. A mother's sixth sense is uncanny. Some moments are just so hilarious that it's hard to stay mad. Have you ever been in such a situation? Being a parent will definitely land you in similar scenarios where you want to be mad at your child to teach them a lesson, but the situation is just so funny you end up cracking up. These two brothers decided to go to town with some paint lying around the house. End result, two siblings completely covered in colours. How can you stay mad at them?
What is funny?
Nothing's funny, bud.
Here's another case of curiosity getting the better of a child. It's in their nature and they can't help it, so why not encourage them and let them learn from their own mistakes? This kid has seen his dad using the electric shaver plenty of times before. He's probably thinking, if my dad can do it, so can I. Well, he's not wrong about that. He can do it, and he did. But maybe he got a little carried away and shaved off half his eyebrow. Don't worry, kid, it will grow back. Birthdays are happy affairs for children, and they often wait the entire year for this special day. Funny that. They have so many hopes and wishes, and it all pays out on their birthday. But birthdays can also be annoying as well because kids get to put up with all formalities of what's expected of them on such a day. This kid is having a good time on his big day, but things turned south almost immediately. Bet his family didn't expect this at all.
Happy birthday!
When you're so in character that you're not willing to come out of it, this is a sign of a great actor and a true performer. This kid loves his Spider-Man costume so much he's not willing to take it off, even for a second, even if it means he can't eat his crackers. But he found a middle ground. He chomps them down through his mask and even tries to simulate eating. I have to admire his commitment because he sold me on this act. Having a sibling around can be useful. Not only are they great for having fun with, but also a much-needed helping hand when you need it. But not all help is good help. This responsible daughter knows she has to do her part to keep the household running. She helps with the cleaning around the yard, but her younger brother doesn't want to lag behind. He decides to pitch in, and well, His intentions were good, but his skills not quite there yet. Kids build a sense of self quite early. They don't need to spend years slogging away to climb up the corporate ladder to feel like a boss. No, it happens much easier and quicker. This kid is clearly his own boss and has the confidence to back it up. He parks his bike in a parking lot and is on his way to close a multi-million-dollar deal in his office. Meanwhile, this unlucky motorist is left hanging on what exactly to do next. My advice, don't mess with this kid. Kids want to be like their parents and grow up as soon as possible. They want to drink your coffee, pick up the bills from the mailbox, or drive your car. This one understood the use of owning a car but felt the need to make it a little more fun. He somehow manages to climb on the roof and evades his dad's attempts to bring him down. The dad tries his best but fails. The kid is going to stay up there as long as he wants, and there's nothing dad can do about it. If you think young kids are a handful, then clearly you haven't dealt with teenagers. They are a whole different ballgame, and you can't curb or attempt to control them like you would with little children. They're moody and act on impulses, and they've got the hormones to blame for that. This teenager thought it was fun to sit on a baby swing in the park, but things didn't quite turn out as she hoped. In the end, firefighters had to help this giant baby out of the kids' swing. Having faith in someone or something is a beautiful thing. You're willing to stake your reputation on something outside your control. That takes a lot of trust, a trust this boy had in his new phone cover. He was so confident that he asked someone to record this little experiment. He hammers away at the phone cover, and when it was time for the final reveal, he was in for a shock. Looks like all his faith has wasted away. If you have a child who's more than willing to help out with the chores, you probably hit the parenting jackpot. Doing chores doesn't come naturally for most kids, but this young lad is an exception. He wants to help out, and it doesn't matter how bad the weather is outside. He pushes the trash can with all his might through the wind, but nature isn't going to let up. He gets whacked on the head with a lid and soon knocks him off his feet along with the trash can. He fought valiantly till the very end. Heavy machinery must be out of bounds even for adults who are not trained to use it, so it comes as no surprise that a child should definitely never even come close to using this stuff. This kid somehow convinced a grown-up to let him have a whirl with a forklift, and before long manages to do the worst. He rammed the forklift into a parked truck, and that's that. Well, what did you expect, letting a child drive heavy machinery? Remember the Office episode where Michael Scott is all excited about the wet cement right outside the Dunder Mifflin building? He knew that he needed to do something with it and eventually got his face planted in the wet cement. Seems like even toddlers are tempted by the same urges when around wet cement. There's almost no scenario in real life where a human child would be this close to a lion, but living in the city and having zoos around has changed this dynamic. This kid enjoys the sight of the lion and turns around for a second. Before long, the lion sees this as an opportunity to pounce and comes running until he crashes into the perspex separating him from the child. The lion probably didn't expect that, and the kid probably didn't even realize what just went down. Most younger siblings are exposed to the whims and experiments of their older brothers or sisters. They see them as a walking, talking canvas and use it to explore their creative side. This kid was on the receiving end of his older siblings' creativity. Maybe he was going for Barney the dinosaur with this creation. The subject doesn't seem to mind. When you get a golden opportunity for something that you've always dreamed of, you seize it without thinking twice. Because if you blink, you'll miss it. This kid understood that and used this chance to make his dream a reality. He kicks the ball away from the players and finally got into the goal with a crowd of cheering fans in the background. He seemed a bit confused by the warm reception though. Sometimes older doesn't necessarily mean wiser. There may just be someone who's way younger than you who probably understands the world a bit better. This kid is trying his best to open the door. He tries to push and shove, but with no luck. Then the hero of his story comes to the rescue and quietly opens up the door for him. What an impressive little man. For a baby, everything around them is a wonder. They can find joy in the most insignificant things, but they also need to be guarded at all times for the same reason. Wouldn't want them to get hurt now, do we? This little girl somehow managed to get herself into the best seat in the house, but got stuck while doing so. She looks so helpless here, and yet cute. One major thing about being a parent is dealing with poop. There's going to be a lot of it, and the parent has to deal with it. This dad probably didn't expect a nice day at the beach to turn out this way, but that's just how it goes when you're a parent, even if it means walking around with a stream of baby poop on your back. Makes you appreciate your parents more, doesn't it? Well, that's all of it. Which got you laughing the most? Let us know in the comments. Before we let you go, be sure to hit the like button, share and subscribe. Later.